Lowe's knows that more projects mean more tools. For a limited time, new and existing My Lowe's Rewards credit card members can get 12-month special financing on purchases of $299 or more, in-store and online. Don't wait to get the things you need. Get special financing today. Lowe's. We help. You save. Now through August 27th, choose 12-month special financing on purchases of $299 or more. Offer subject to credit approval and cannot be combined. Minimum monthly payments required. See store at Lowes.com for details.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're digging into a really powerful story from the Bible.
That's right. We're looking at Nehemiah Chapter 2, using some great material that summarizes it and pulls out the practical meaning.
Yeah, our mission here is to really unpack this narrative, understand it, and see how its lessons can actually equip and, inspire you today.
Absolutely. It's got timeless wisdom packed in there.
Okay, let me dive in. Where does this chapter start?
It drops us right into the Persian palace. You've got Nehemiah, who's the cupbearer for King Artaxerxes.
Right, a position of huge trust, but also one where you have to keep your cool, always.
Exactly. But one day, Nehemiah shows up looking visibly sad in front of the king.
Which was, well, incredibly risky. Not just a bad move. This was serious stuff.
And the king, he notices immediately. The source says he asks him point blank, like, "You're not sick, so why the sad face? This is sorrow of heart."
Oof. Yeah, Nehemiah is understandably terrified. I mean, that could look like disloyalty.
Definitely. But he decides to speak the truth, the painful truth.
He tells the king his sadness is because Jerusalem, the city of his ancestors, it's just in ruins, gates burned down.
And here's a really critical detail the source highlights. Before the king even asks his next question, which is, "What do you want?" Basically, Nehemiah does something amazing.
What's that?
He pauses, maybe just for a second, but he silently prays to the God of heaven.
Wow. Okay, so a moment of prayer right there in the hot seat.
Exactly. And only after that, grounded in faith, he makes this incredibly bold request.
Which is?
Permission to go all the way back to Judah to rebuild the city walls.
That's a huge ask.
It is. And what's fascinating, and a key point here, is the king's response. Surprising favor.
Right. The source connects it directly to the good hand of my God upon me.
Yes, and look at how that favor showed up. It wasn't just a yes.
No, it was practical. The king set a time frame, gave him letters for safe passage.
Through all the different territories, yeah.
Yeah.
And a letter for timber from Asaph, the keeper of the king's forest.
So actual resources. Plus, the king even sent army captains and horsemen with him for protection.
It's concrete help. Divine favor working through very real human channels. Really powerful stuff.
Okay, so Nehemiah gets to Jerusalem. What's his first move? Does he rally the troops right away?
Nope. He actually waits 3 days. Then, under the cover of darkness, he goes out secretly.
At night. Why?
To inspect the walls himself, the broken walls, the burned gates. He doesn't tell anyone his plans yet.
Huh. So like a private assessment first.
Exactly. It's discernment.
Sure.
Understanding the real scale of the problem before you go public or try to mobilize people.
Yeah.
Very wise.
Makes sense. Get the lay of the land.
Right. So after he's done that, he talks to the Jewish officials and the people.
Okay, now he reveals the plan.
Well, first he lays out the situation, shows them the hard reality of their distress, the ruined city, and then he issues this challenge. "Come, let us build up the wall of Jerusalem, that we be no more a reproach."
So he connects it to their dignity, their identity, not just a building project.
Precisely. He casts a vision, and crucially, he tells them why it's possible. He tells them about God's favor on him, and he shares the king's supportive words, the actual provision.
So he provides the evidence, God's backing, and the king's practical support.
Yes, and that's what moves the people. They respond, "Let us rise up and build." It strengthens their hands, the source says. They're ready for the work.
But, not everyone's happy about this, right? There's always opposition.
Always. The source introduces Sanballat the Horonite, Tobiah the Ammonite, and Geshem the Arabian. Local bigwigs, basically.
And they don't like this rebuilding effort.
Not one bit. They mock them, despise them. They even accuse Nehemiah of rebelling against the king.
Wow. So pushback and false accusations, how does Nehemiah handle that?
His response is firm. It's totally anchored in his faith, not in their opinions. He just declares, "The God of heaven, he will prosper us. Therefore, we, his servants, will arise and build."
Basically, our authority comes from higher up. Dismissed.
Exactly. Okay, so let's shift gears a bit. This is where it gets really interesting for us.
Right. So what does all this ancient history, this story, mean for us today? How do we apply it?
Well, think about that silent prayer first, right before speaking to the king.
Yeah.
His boldness wasn't just, personal courage, The source emphasizes that it came after connecting with God.
So true courage, speaking truth to power, it starts with faith.
It suggests that, yeah, it challenges us maybe not to let fear shut us down when we feel called to something, but to root our courage in prayer first.
Okay, I like that. What else?
Then there's him asking for specifics. The letters, the timber, the escort.
Right, he didn't just pray and hope for the best.
Exactly. Faith isn't passive. Nehemiah paired prayer with serious preparation. He thought through the obstacles, what he'd need. He was ready to act when the door opened.
So the takeaway is like, plan as you pray, be ready.
I think that's a great way to put it. And then there's that night inspection.
The secret reconnaissance mission.
Yeah. It teaches us discernment and communication. Not every plan or problem needs to be blasted out immediately.
Assess first, then announce.
Kind of. Take time to understand the reality, reflect, strategize, especially if you're leading change or doing something significant. Wise communication.
That makes a lot of sense. What about how we rallied the people?
Ah, yes. Come, let us build, that we be no more a reproach. See, he didn't just give orders.
No, he cast a vision, tied it to their dignity, like we said.
Exactly. It shows that effective leadership often involves inviting people into a bigger, meaningful picture, not just handing out tasks. Inspire with purpose.
Good point. And finally, dealing with the opposition.
Yeah.
Sembala and those guys.
Right. The source basically says, look, expect criticism, expect mockery when you're doing something worthwhile.
Yeah, unfortunately, that often comes with the territory.
It does. But like Nehemiah, we're encouraged to stay grounded in our purpose, anchored in faith. His response, trusting God, will prosper the work that directly encourages our obedience, even when we face resistance.
So facing opposition can actually strengthen our faith if we respond like him by staying obedient.
I think that's exactly the implication. It shows God honors that kind of trust and action.
So pulling it all together.
Nehemiah's example shows us that effective action is this blend, right?
Yeah.
It's prayer, absolutely, but also careful preparation, courage born from faith, that quiet assessment, and real confidence in God, not just circumstances.
Yeah, he moved forward with faith, wisdom, and resilience. God clearly honored that combination. It's a story that really challenges us, I think, to live with integrity, speak boldly but with faith behind it, and stand firm when resistance comes. It's a powerful picture of how God works through prayerful, prepared, courageous action.
Well said.
So for you listening, maybe think about this. What project or challenge are you facing right now where you might need to combine prayer with that kind of clear-eyed assessment and practical preparation, just like Nehemiah did?